Hello, everybody. This is Debbie, from Teacher Success Coach. What am I grateful for today? It's a brand new day, a brand new week, brand new opportunities, enabling me to do some of the things I wanted to do and I wasn't able to do. Give me the opportunity to reflect a lot more than I have been. So those are some of the things I'm grateful for. The opportunity to be here, I'm alive, and grateful for my family and friends. So those are some of the things I'm grateful for today. And I do feel that it's very important that we demonstrate gratitude. Too often we take things for granted. Life and things should not be taken for granted, because life is very short, very precious. So we need to be grateful for what we have, not what we don't have or what we want. Be thankful what is with us right now. There is no point in saying, oh, I wish I had. No, 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 no. You wish you have, you already have it. So just give thanks for what you've got right now. So those are the things that I feel that we ought to be grateful for, what we have right now. And demonstrate gratitude to other people, gratitude to yourself, and gratitude for me is the Almighty. Right, some of my wins, or some of my observation. As a supply teacher, I go to various schools. And that's one of the beautiful things for me, going into different schools, seeing how different schools operate, i.e. in terms of management, in terms of how the students are being taught, and how the students are being disciplined. It's just fantastic, connecting with that. There's the downside of supply teaching, but for me, there's far more upside in supply teaching, because it gives me the opportunity to see how other schools work. Because I have also been in one school before I actually started doing supply for about 19 years or so. So it's really nice to start enjoying the beauty of other schools and to see what's happening. One of the things I'm seeing right now is how students are being taught. Whoa. They're taught so much in terms of the exams or in terms of the standard which they're doing. They're not taught outside of the box. And I must say, for someone like me who is a very innovative teacher and teach outside the box, I find it quite challenging, whereby you are teaching the students to what the exam is going to be. So there is nothing outside of that. I feel that it doesn't enable them to be independent thinkers. It doesn't enable them to think outside the box. And if you're not teaching in that way, they find it very, very challenging. Because I don't teach in that fashion, some students find it very, very challenging because they cannot think independently. It's a situation where whatever the topic is, that's what they expect to be taught. So if you are looking at A, they've got to be taught A. And for me, as a teacher and an innovative teacher, I believe that you need to be way outside and you understand the holistic areas and then come in. So that's one of the challenges I'm beginning to face right now. Because I had a group of students this afternoon, and I was, one of the way I teach is, I first of all want them to read a textbook and summarize it in their own understanding of it and do a mind map. So let's say if we have a topic on the memory or the multi-store model of memory, I'll actually get them to go into the textbook, identify the multi-store model of memory, summarize it in your understanding of it, feedback, and then I would use my PowerPoint. But that's not how they've been programmed. They've been programmed to, you give it to them and they write it down in the books, and that's how it is. And I find it so challenging because it means that they're not using the independent thought process. They're so programmed. And I've noticed that in a number of schools I've been to. And anytime you bring something different, I'm saying to the student, you need to make the connection of what you've already been taught. So you've been taught one aspect. So when I'm teaching you this topic, you need to make the connection. But it's like one track. And I tell you, I find it suffocating. because we are programming students. We're not allowing them to be independent thinkers. And that is really challenging for me. So on reflection today, I found it quite a challenge, because I realized in order for me to stay in some schools and have less stress, I have to continue the programming. But I'm not too sure if I could do that, because I feel it's suffocating. Because they're not innovative, they're not independent thinkers. And it's just I find it quite stressful. Because just think of programming, how people are programmed. That's exactly what is expected of educators. It's like a conveyor belt. It's like you just program them to learn the topics, to pass the test, learn the topic to pass the test. They don't think outside of that. And for me, who is a free thinking individual, an innovative thinker, who thinks outside the box, to be programming, I find it quite challenging. So that's one of the things I had today to really reassess when I'm saying to students, okay, this is the topic. I want you guys to read around the subject area, understand it. If you don't understand, it's okay, but read around the topic area and then come back, feedback to the class, and then I pick it up. No. You have to, they need you to feed them, and then they regurgitate the information. So that was one of my challenges today. My win is I had a few students who understood what I was talking about because they do independent reading. If a student does independent reading, it means that it's easier for the student to read a topic and summarize their understanding of it. But if a student, I realized that if a student do not do a lot of independent reading, they don't know how to go about finding information. And I say to them, when you're doing an essay, first of all, you need to brainstorm what you know on the paper, and then you go into the books and find the information to fill in the gaps. If you actually sit and go through that book and then write, you'll be going wrong in circles because you'll want to write everything in that book, from that book. So some students understood that and they could make the connection. Some of them have no idea. As I said to them, one of the things I want them to start doing is doing quite a lot of reading. Because the more you read, the more you understand. And it will also help you to be independent readers, and in terms of thinking about topics outside the box instead of being so programmed. Because what I'm beginning to realize and learn more and more and more is you just program the students to learn the relevant topic, to regurgitate it in the exam, and to pass the exam. I find it so painful. It's like my son have said to me, Mom, anybody could pass exams and anybody could get exams at high marks. You don't need to understand it. You basically need to learn it and then reproduce it. Boy, that is really challenging for me, because I want students to learn it, to understand it, and then they could make connection with the other topic area. But I'm afraid that is not what's happening right now. You just need to continue to program them so they could actually have it in the head, and then they could recite it out to you. It's interesting. I've also said to my students today, I've given them some reading to do. And I tell them I want them to constantly do reading and summarize their understanding of the topic area. So let's see what happens tomorrow, because I found today quite painful, because in the sense that they are so programmed, they have not been taught how to think. They have not been taught how to answer questions. They have not been taught how to learn. They've just been programmed. And I'm hoping that I'm able to break the cycle Some students are willing to see alternative, but some are so programmed is this is the way we've been doing it, and this is the way we've done it, and this is the way that works. But how do you know the other way doesn't work? Have you tried it? No, you haven't. So therefore, in order to see if the other way works and work better, you need to try it. So that was, my challenge today in terms of getting the students out of this programming mindset and this fixed mindset to get them into the growth mindset and possibility and the alternative, and see what would work instead of staying in this growth mindset and say, well, this is how it's been done, this is how I know to do it. And we're talking about these are young people, so I'm trying to see how tomorrow is in terms of, I've asked them to read, asked them to summarize. So let's see how they've read it and how they've summarized their understanding of the topic which I've given to them, because we'll be looking at social influence. And I'm saying to them, when we look at social influence and minority group, can you not see how minority group can also influence the masses? Oh, it was such they couldn't even see that as a concept. I also use it in terms of the percentage that is making the decision in the world and that have the wealth. Some of them got it, some didn't. So this is demonstrating I really do have a lot of work to do in order to change the mindset, to get them to step outside of the box, to get them to be innovative thinkers instead of just program individuals who just read and program in the head and regurgitate what they've been taught. So I'll tell you guys how I get on tomorrow. I'm also having the head teacher coming to observe one of my lessons, and I don't my teaching is not that of programming, so I'm just I'm just reflecting as to how I'm going to go through that, because school have become such a place of programming students to learn the topic, to regurgitate it and just answer the question. So they're not independent, innovative thinkers. Anyway, guys, but my win today, some of the students have actually understood it. Another thing is when I told them I'm with them until, because they've been nagging me since last week. I only started on Monday, but all week they've been saying to me, oh, miss, are you going to be with us? How long are you going to be with us? Because, we understand your teaching, we like your teaching, etc., etc. And we have many teachers that really enjoy this subject. Some of them came in and just sang and danced, etc., etc. So I did say to them today that I'm here until the end of November, possibly December. So they feel a little bit settled. But, we need to be working together in terms of trying to change the mindset to think outside the box and step out of the comfort zone. And me needing to meet them halfway in terms of this programming. Anyway, guys, take care. Thanks for listening. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.